What's up? This is Michael Rapaport. This is my YouTube page. Subscribe, rate, review. Leave a comment. If you leave a comment, good, bad, or indifferent, I might respond. I probably will respond. I read them all. So leave a comment, and thanks for watching. So Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. What can I say? My experience was very small, which is how I wanted it. It was just me and my wife. And I'm gonna preface this by saying that my wife is a very, very good cook. Is she gonna win awards? No. Okay. But can she throw down? Yeah, she could throw down. Very humbly. She once dated an Italian guy. He taught us some things. And she's one of those people, she just got a good feel for the kitchen. Now, I told her, I said, babe, I am going to publicly rate, review, and grade every single thing we ate for Thanksgiving. And she said, if you do that, you better explain that we don't have all our cooking supplies currently in our New York City crib. So I'll put that out there. Not like anybody cares. No one cares that you don't have the blender, the mixer, whatever you need. No one cares. It's Thanksgiving. It's M&M time. It's one shot, one chance. That's it. And you know, some of the things that I took away from this Thanksgiving meal is the things that my wife cooks, she only does it once a year. How many times a year do two people, that's the majority of the time who she's cooking for, two people make a turkey? That's once a year. You don't get to practice that. I get it. Also, my wife is pretty much a vegetarian. I'm leaning towards vegetarian because if I'm eating in the house, I eat what she puts in front of me. And when I say eat what she puts in front of me, it's a very, very important part of this story because my standards of what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what will make me go, this is good. Genuinely from the bottom of my heart, this is good. It's not something you have to beat out of me. I grew up primarily with a father in the 70s and the 80s. This is a fact. By the time I was 14, this was a meal in my house. My father was 89, Disco Dave Rapaport, would take noodles, okay, heat them up in a pot, okay, and then he'd boil them. Not spaghetti, noodles. I don't know. Egg noodles, some kind of noodles, rigatoni, the little loop-de-loops, screwdrivers. Take that, okay? While he was doing that, he'd take a piece of steak from D'Agostino's, put it in the oven, okay? He'd cook both of them. Both of them take about 10, 12 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. Little piece of steak. He would take those noodles, drain them in the strainer, put them in a bowl. He'd cut up the steak into like bite-sized pieces, put some of that in the bowl. And then he would take the pasta sauce out of the jar. He didn't heat up the pasta sauce. He didn't add cheese to the pasta sauce. He didn't add salt, pepper, I don't know, garlic powder to the pasta sauce. He'd take it out of the jar. He'd shake it up in the jar and then pour it over the noodles and the steak. Stir it. God is my witness. And then he would knock on my door. And the food would be on the floor. I don't blame him for this. I wouldn't want to eat or cook for me either when I was 14, 15 years old. But I remember him doing that, me eating it, and me telling him, Dad, thank you so much. That was great. That was a great meal. So my standards are low. That being said, my wife and I had Thanksgiving dinner. We had turkey. We had stuffings. Okay. We had macaroni and cheese. We had green beans. We had gravy, mushroom gravy. We had yams. Now, the way I'm going to grade this is dish by dish and then the presentation. Again, Last year's turkey was fine. The turkey that I had a few days ago, I'm going to give her a C+. I'm going to give her a C+. And I say this humbly. I feel like there's people judging me. I feel like there's people at home listening and watching me going, that's messed up, Mike Rapp. My queen, she gets all due respect just for being with me. And like I said, she can cook. She makes salads. I mean, when during that pandemic, the salads, I'd be posting, people were like, she needs to open a restaurant. And I'm telling you, if she wanted to, she could. She ain't doing it. The fact of the matter is, and I don't care, I'm going to tell you something right now publicly to my wife. I don't care that you don't have your mixer, your blender, your equipment. You wanted that precursor, there's your precursor. Your turkey gets a C+, and that's generous. That's generous. And there's people over here go, yo, I'm telling you that turkey was a C+, a generous C+. Homemade stuffing sounds great, right? For a guy that grew up eating the way I ate, homemade stuffing sounds cool. You know what else sounds cool? You know what else is a good thing to eat besides homemade stuffing? Stovetop. Stovetop will never steer you wrong. It'll always steer you strong. I've made stovetop. It sticks together. It's easy. It's cheap. You go to Gristedes, D'Agostino's, any of the local supermarkets in New York, they don't got it at Whole Foods for $94 for a box of stovetop. It's probably $11.99, maybe $17.90. I don't know. Stovetop is good. Homemade stuffing sounds good theoretically, but if you don't have the skills to pay the bills, just get the stovetop. Get the stovetop. The stuffing my wife made was embarrassing. It wasn't just embarrassing to me, and she's self-critical. The thing about my wife and the meal that we ate is she knew it was pathetic. She knew that it was subpar. She knew that it was substandard. The stuffing, it didn't stick, number one. The one thing you expect from any stuffing is for it to stick. Yeah, it might as well have been like a salad. Like it did, like I picked it up, it just was falling all over the place. It was a blob of crap with an orange tint. And I'm telling you, she knows what it is. Did she think that she spent hours, she got up early. Hours, it costs a lot of money to get these ingredients. It costs money, time. I'm not saying she doesn't eat for effort, big E for effort. But your grade on your stuffing is a D. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. Then we had the macaroni and cheese. Everybody's favorite. You're probably saying to yourself, Mike Rapp, why would you, 5 months out of the hospital from a pneumonia in July, be stuffing your face with macaroni and cheese over Thanksgiving? It's Thanksgiving. Can I not stuff my face just one day? Not that I don't stuff my face other days, but can I not stuff my face without having to sneak it? Because I sneak food. I told you. The struggles I go through when I'm on the road. My wife made macaroni and cheese, and I suggested, for some odd reason, because you know, when it comes to Thanksgiving, you start hearing people talk about the cooking and the recipes, and all the morning shows are talking about this recipe and that recipe, and all the Instagram and the TikToks, and you start hearing about all these exotic macaroni and cheeses. Again, you could get macaroni and cheese out of the box. You could get Annie's macaroni and cheese out of the box. It will never steer you wrong. It'll always steer you strong. But it's Thanksgiving. You gotta swing for the fences. You gotta get on that Reggie Jackson. Thing about Reggie Jackson is he didn't always hit the ball out of the park. Strike out a lot. One of the leaders in all-time strikeouts. And that's exactly what my wife did with that macaroni and cheese. She Dave Kingman'd it. Okay? It didn't go out of the park. She went right back into she went to the dugout. That macaroni and cheese is a C. a flat C. And I was a C student. Any C student is on the cusp of being a D. I'm going to tell you that the macaroni and cheese was a C, period. Green beans, yeah, she put some bacon in it. It was a B. That's easy. I could have made, listen, the green beans were a B. But who can't make green beans? I told you she's a good cook. The gravy is where things went bad. Again, this is all homemade for Thanksgiving. The gravy is where things went real bad. And when I say E for effort, I have to give an asterisk to the gravy. Homemade ingredients, blah, 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 blah. There's a supermarket right downstairs. They don't sell homemade stuff. They say ready-to-made stuff. I'll eat whatever you put in front of me. My wife made and presented me for Thanksgiving, us. She's cooking for us. She presented us with gravy in a Pyrex cup, like a measuring cup. The gravy came out. It wasn't put into like a bowl or a serving dish. Like it was like as if we were cooking up a bag of crack in a Pyrex. Okay, and at the top of it was oil. And there was mushrooms floating around in the Pyrex. The gravy was unacceptable. Unacceptable. The gravy in a Pyrex is a D-. That's what I'm giving my wife for her Thanksgiving gravy in a Pyrex. And I'm telling you, this is a prideful woman. She don't play, she ain't lazy, she's just prideful. I don't know what happened on Thanksgiving. But when she came out with the gravy in the Pyrex, and then when I'm taking her C+ grated turkey and I'm dipping it into the Pyrex, she's got the audacity to say, babe, what are you doing? I'm dipping the turkey in the Pyrex. What do you want me to do? There's gravy in a Pyrex. No one's looking. Who are we trying to fool here? Yams were C-. And the presentation overall, because I ran the numbers, I crunched them. And then I broke rule number 1 of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I took the numbers and the numbers that I ran and I fact-checked it just to make sure that my grade wasn't off. My wife's Thanksgiving dinner was a D-, top to bottom, the whole thing. Meal for meal, plate for plate, dish for dish, and the presentation, we got a D-. And we were sitting there going, maybe it'll get better. Maybe if we let it settle, maybe we're eating it too quick. Maybe we're being pigs. Maybe we're being animals. Maybe we should have waited. We settled. We let it settle. The next day, it didn't get any better. The day after that, it didn't get any better. You know, then we said, well, maybe we should give this away to, some homeless people. And I'm thinking, you know what? They probably got enough. I don't want anybody on the streets who's already suffering to be shitting out what I have to shit out. Let's just get rid of what we have left. I think 2-3 days of leftovers, it's time to rid ourselves of this. Nonetheless, we had a great time. What's up? This is Michael Rapaport. This is my YouTube page. Subscribe, rate, review. Leave a comment. If you leave a comment, good, bad, or indifferent, I might respond. I probably will respond. I read them all. So leave a comment, and thanks for watching. Yo, thank you for watching. Michael Rapaport, my YouTube page. Leave a comment, okay? I read them all. I check them all out. If you leave a comment, I might respond, even if it's not a good one, but I prefer a good one. Thanks for watching.